everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is April, and in this video, me and my fiance Eric are going to be making animal beds, pouches, bags, and wraps to help rescued animals. I first saw a post on Facebook from the Animal Rescue Craft Guild calling all crafters to create items to help injured animals in Australia due to the fire. Right now they have put a hold on donations, so please check their Facebook page to see what items they need first before making anything. You can also reach out to your local wildlife organization to see if they need any items as well. I'm going to be using thrifted items like flannel pajama pants and fleece blankets. This is a great way for you to save money and also recycle unwanted textiles at the same time. There are specific types of fabric they want you to use to create these items, so make sure you click that link in my description box to read what fabric goes with what project before you create anything, or else they might not be able to use it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let's get started. So the first thing we're going to be making are animal beds, and they recommend you use polar fleece for it. And I found these fleece blankets at my thrift store. They also recommend that you guys use what you have at home already. So if you guys have some old blankets that can be upcycled, then this is the best project for it. Like I said, their Facebook page has all the instructions for the measurements and whatnot, and they need beds in different sizes. So there's an extra small to extra large, and they do give you those measurements. Fold the fabric right sides together and cut out your desired size. The size blanket I had was big enough to create a small size bed, which is 20 by 29 inches. And the measurements they provided do not include the seam allowance. Next, sew along two of the sides, leaving one end open to insert the padding. Turn the bed right sides out, and now we can add the padding. I purchased some batting to stuff it, but you could even place a couple layers of your fleece blanket inside if you have leftover to use. For the batting, I folded it enough time for a good amount of comfort, but not too much that I can't shove it underneath my sewing machine. Lay the bed on top and use it to cut out the batting in the same size. Now you can stuff the bed, and to close the opening, fold the seam allowance underneath and top stitch it closed, continuing the top stitching around the entire bed. After that, you can stitch a circle or a rounded square in the middle of the bed to hold the cushion in place. And there you have it, an animal bed perfect for wildlife animals or even your pets at home. The pink one is mine and the blue one was made by Eric. Next, we're going to be recycling some pajama pants into some bat wraps. They recommend you use 100% cotton flannel fabric, and these are 100% cotton and they're flannel, and they're actually the perfect size to create the bat wraps because bats are so tiny. And you will also need some polyfill stuffing to stuff the pillow side of the bat wrap. First thing I did was measure how long the bat wrap needs to be, which is 60 inches long, and then I cut the leg off. I also cut the pant legs down the side seam so that it can be two separate layers and lay extra flat. Place the two pieces on top of each other and cut out a large rectangle that is about 10 inches wide and 60 inches long. Next, sew the two pieces right sides together along all four sides, but leave a 4-inch opening at the end right here. Keep in mind that the softest side of the fabric should be used as the right side, and when sewing these animal projects, you should lower your stitch length so it's a lot tighter and more durable. Use the opening to turn the entire thing right sides out, poke out all the corners the best you can, and then at that 4-inch opening you left open, sew straight across the width. Now you can stuff the open end with some polyfill to create a pillow at the end for the bat wrap, and to close the opening you want to fold the raw edges inside and top stitch the entire bat wrap close around the 3 sides. Clip all your threads and you're finished. Here is an adorable photo of how it's used for bats. Next, we're going to be making some joey pouches. This is an extra small one, and these are pattern pieces that we printed out online and just taped them together. So for the joey pouch, you need an inner pouch and then an outer pouch. The inner pouch is a little bit taller because I think they will fold it over, and both of these pieces we are going to cut on fold. For the inner pouch, I'm using a soft flannel material and will cut it out on fold. You will need 2 of these pieces. For my outer pouch, I'm using a lightweight cotton fabric I had at home. You will also need 2 of these pieces. Starting with the outer pouch, face the pieces right sides together and sew along the sides and bottom, leaving the top open. Next, fold the top over 1 inch, press with your iron, and then fold it over 1 inch again to hide the raw edges. Press with your iron again to keep everything in place, and then hem the pouch. Remember to use a tighter stitch length when sewing the entire pouch to ensure stability. Flip the pouch right sides out and press it flat with your iron. Now to hide the raw edges inside, we're going to create a French seam by top stitching over the bag with enough seam allowance to enclose the raw edge underneath. You can also trim your seam allowance shorter first before creating the French seam. This is what the finished outer pouch should look like. For the inner pouch, the process is the same, but we're going to do things opposite by sewing the pieces wrong sides together first. Trim your seam allowance down a little and then fold over the top 1 inch, press it, and then fold it over 1 inch again and hem. Same thing like earlier, flip the bag out and top stitch over the wrong side with a wide enough seam allowance to enclose the raw edges. Clip all your threads and you're finished. The inner pouch gets placed inside the outer pouch, and I think the top of the inner pouch folds over like this. And I read that each outer pouch will need 2 to 3 inner liner pouches to go with it for easier washing. And here are some photos of how these pouches are used. Lastly, we are going to be making some hanging wallaby bags. This is the pattern that we once again printed out online and taped together. There's a day pouch and then a night pouch. This also shows you the size that your strap should be. On this page, they're using recycled pillowcases for the bags, but I also read somewhere that you should be using a material that is a lot stronger. So I have this fabric right here that I purchased from Joanne and never got around to using. It's very strong and sturdy. And then for the inside, I think you could just use 100% cotton. So I'm going to probably use this bed sheet for the inside. First, fold your outer bag material, which is the more durable fabric, and cut 1 front piece and 1 back piece from it. You will also need to cut 1 front and 1 back piece out of the lining fabric as well. On one of the pattern pieces, it has the measurements for the straps, so I just marked it out on my outer fabric and cut 2 pieces out. If you don't want to cut 2 pieces, you can place your strap on fold the long way and cut it out together. Now that we have all our pattern pieces cut, place each bag right sides together and sew along the curved bottom. For the straps, you will sew along the 2 sides, leaving the ends open to turn inside out. Next, turn the outer bag and strap right sides out. I press the strap with my iron so it lays flat, and then pin it right sides together to the front side of the bag at the top, next to the side seams of the bag. Make sure the straps are facing the right way so they don't get tangled. Place the green bag inside of the lining bag and sew along all the top edges, leaving an opening at the back to turn the entire thing inside out. Using the opening, turn the bag inside out. And lastly, close the opening by tucking the seam allowances inside and top stitching along the entire top edge of the bag. I also went ahead and sewed another row of stitching at the straps to make it even more durable. And we're done! Thank you all so much for watching. We will be holding on to the items we created until further notice because we don't know what items they need yet until they update it on Facebook. And if they don't need anything, we can always reach out to our local wildlife organizations to see if they need anything as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful and I'll see you next time. Bye!